Hello guys, it's me Samuel. I'm Politeknik APP Jakarta student from Management Logistik Department. I want to thank you for you of clicking my video presentation. It's good even though I can see all of you in person. Guys, we will discuss what today? Yes, that's right. Today we will discuss about passive voice or usually also called passive sentence. As we know, there are two types of sentence. The first in active sentence, which is the subject which does something about the object, and the second is the passive sentence, which is the object is subject to a job. Later, I will give examples. Wow, there are a lot of examples that we will see. Here we go. Passive voice or passive sentence. In this video, there are four types of passive sentence we will discuss. So there are four focus in this video. Now there is a passive voice, for simple present tense, passive voice for past tense, passive voice for present perfect tense, passive voice for past perfect tense. Next, as I showed earlier, active sentence is subject does an action to the object, while for the passive sentence is the object that is the focus. What happened to the object? But do you know why we use passive sentence on our daily life? Yes, there are several reasons why we use passive sentence. The first reason, we don't want to talk about did the action. It's not um, the focus for we. Uh, the next reason is we don't know who did the action. Just know about the object. The next reason, the object is more interesting or important than the subject. Let's start discuss passive sentence for present tense. The formula for present tense active sentence is subject plus verb plus object. And the passive, subject plus be plus verb be plus by. It's optional. It's okay to don't write the by someone or by her, by him. It's okay. For B, we use to see it is at S or ES. Don't forget in the present tense, the verb must be added with S or ES. The example is drive, we add S, but in passive, the verb T, we use driven, the verb T from drives. Need drives for driven. And the subject on active is operator. Move to back of sentence be object. We use by operator. Uh, so we will change the active sentence to passive voice. The object is move. Wait. Uh, Forklift is move to in front of the sentence. Be a subject. For the passive sentence, we need be. Let's look the tenses first. Because we use present tense, that we use between is or are. Now we look again. The subject in the present tense is plural or singular. If the subject is more than one, we use are. Now because the forklift is only one, uh, then one we use is. Uh, but is plural, we use are in the next example. Next. Now the second example for passive voice for present tense. Wait. Worker turns off the conveyor. We must change this active voice to passive voice. Worker, it must be the back of object, be the back of sentence. I mean, on the passive, we must add by the worker. Now turns off. Don't forget to add s or es and the verb of active voice as, but in the passive, we must change its be turn, verb 3. The conveyor in the before the object on active voice be subject on passive voice. We go to next example. Checker checks some bottle. In the passive, some bottles are checked by checker. Checkered, the back of the passive sentence by checker, and some bottles it be subject on passive voice. Okay, don't forget it's uh why we use are in the active is checker is must only see he or it. Uh, we we focus to the subject on the passive voice. Some bottle is plural. What why we use are. Okay, we go to next. Human Resource Development interviews new employees. HRD is back to back of the passive sentence by HRD. New employees is the subject and interviews use as. Don't forget to add be on passive voice. It means are. Why we use are? Because the new employees is the more than one plural. Okay, we next. So let's start discuss passive sentence for past tense. The first example for passive voice for past tense. Don't forget subject of active sentence move to behind sentence become the object. Like this hand palette transport is moved to back by hand palette. Transport for verb 2 be verb 3. On passive voice, the same transported. Raw material, production raw material, I mean, be subject on passive voice. Why we use were as to be? Wait, were. Okay. Past tense use be was or were. Was for singular and were for plural. If the production raw material is more than one, it's many. We use were. For the we use was is the next example. Warehouse supervisor left the meeting. Left from verb to from lead. Warehouse supervisor become the object in passive voice by warehouse supervisor. The meeting is the object for passive for active voice. Be the subject on passive voice. We use was because the meeting is same for it. The meeting it's singular. We use was. The next industry produce some cardboard. Industry is the subject for active sentence is become the object in passive voice and cardboard object for active voice be passive voice is subject. Why we use were? Because cardboard is some, it's more than one. but is plural. Okay, next. Now let's discuss passive sentence for present perfect. Let's take this example here. The first example for passive voice for uh, present perfect tense. Someone has stolen industrial safety stock. Someone before the inactive voice is subject. On passive voice, we must be in back the sentence by someone, and industrial safety stock in above active voice be object. We must change its be subject in passive voice. Why we use has on active voice? In present perfect tense, use either has or have. If the passive singular is the singular, we use has, and plural we use have. Someone is singular, we use has. And industrial safety stock is plural, we use have. Okay, I hope you understand which I explained it. Okay, let's go to the next example. They they have why they have used safety helmet. They is plural. We must have used from verb T. Safety helmet is the object. Safety helmet is go to passive voice be subject. Have be have chance is be has. Why? Safety helmet is singular. We must use has plus been. Oh yeah, I forget to the been. Don't forget to use the been for passive voice. Been is constancy of passive sentence formula for the present perfect tense. It must constancy. By them, they is changed by them. I sometimes why by them? They is for pronoun subject if become object change to them, like he be his, she be her, like this. We next. Okay, the next example. The Minister of Industry has inaugurated the cargo train line. In the passive, the cargo train line has been inaugurated by the Minister of Industry. The Minister of Industry under active sentence is subject. The subject in the passive voice, we go to the back of sentence, be object. Has because the minister is singular. Same for the passive, the cargo train is singular. We use has. Don't forget to add been on the sentence of passive. Okay, I hope you understand. Now, the last, let's discuss passive voice for past perfect tense. If earlier the present tense we use has or have, now for this past perfect tense we use only one, had. Not has or have. Also remember we have to be using been. Wait, been where been after I had. I had paid for the purchase of raw material on Tuesday. I changed to object by me. Paid verb 3. Paid purpose. Paid. Purchase of I'm sorry. Raw material. Purchase of raw material. Be subject on passive voice. I'm sorry I scribbled the slide so that we can but understand, not just only knowing. By is by like this, like some like in previous slides is optional. It's up to you to write or no. Now, the next example, the company had sent product to retailers. The company, the object on passive voice, to retailer is the back of the object, product. In the active is object. In passive, we go to in front of the sentence, product be subject. Don't forget to had and been. Send is verb 3. Next, retailer had returned the defective product to the company. The defective product and the active is object. In the passive, be a subject. Retailer in the active is subject. In the passive, be object. Don't forget to use had and been. From the explanation that I given from earlier, I will give tips how to write or make passive sentence. Tips for writing a passive voice. First, identify subject, verb, and object in active sentence. Second, move the object in active sentence into the subject in the passive sentence. So from the object of active sentence, we make the subject in our passive sentence. 3. Whether simple present, past, or present perfect and past perfect, identify the tenses used in active sentence. If the present tense we use is or are for be. Past tense we use was or were for be. Present perfect we use have or has plus. Don't forget to add been for be. For past perfect we use have. For add verb participle verb 3. Take verb in the previous active sentence. Be verb 3. And 5. Add by someone, by her, by him, or it's optional. Up to you to write or no. Wow, it's finished? Well guys, I hope you understood about the lesson. Thank you for your attention. If there is mistakes, I apologize and you can tell me via column comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Thank you guys. Bye.